Chapter 4 Underworld, Vice Magus Entrance. Ahmad stops in place, still holding his apprentice's staff and fighting the urge to help her. Master Ahmad, check on Amalthea. This trial is concluded, Sage Veer says, finally. Dropping her staff, Ahmad rushes over to Amalthea. He kneels down while taking off his helmet. A hint of panic causes him to breathe heavy. He cradles her and checks for a pulse. After a few moments, he speaks in a projected tone. Wake up, child. Sage Veer hovers over to Ahmad's side. Give her a moment, master, he says. Ow! Amalthea's face comes to life once more as she smirks and raises her hand to the lump on her noggin. Ahmad lays Amalthea down and focuses on his hand. Majat Barida. His hand becomes chilled. He pushes her bangs to the side, exposing the wound. There you go, Ahmad says as he gently covers the lump on her forehead with his chilled hand. Better? Much, much better, Amalthea says slowly, as the burning hot lump is finally cooled. Exit when you are ready, Sage Veer says as he hovers over to a slab, then lowers onto it, putting his own weight on it. Meeting hall. He is lifted away and into the darkness. I'm sorry, master. I should have been ready. The young apprentice wastes no time in taking responsibility for being knocked out. But I was so tired, I didn't know where I was. My master did the same thing to me when I was tested, Ahmad replies with a laugh. You were never meant to defeat me. Amalthea chuckles weakly as she holds her head. Ahmad extends his hand outward. His and Amalthea's staff and armor disappear. She summons the strength for a quick jab, said quiet and slowly. Of course, you were never meant to defeat me. The ginger-haired apprentice lays her hands on her abdomen. Look at you, acting all tough. He walks toward a slab. I could just leave you, Ahmad says in an almost calm voice as he steps onto the slab carrying Amalthea. She passes out again as he calls out, Apprentice quarters. The slab rises into the darkness, into the leaves, and out into the smoke. Ahmad looks in shock at the collapsed high-ranking quarters and caved-in master's quarters. The slab descends down into the heavily damaged lower quarters. Ahmad carries Amalthea to her room as people rush around, calling out names. He lays Amalthea on her bed and checks her head one more time. Majat Barida, he says, chilling a rag in his hand. He lays the rag on her forehead and watches her condition, unsure if he should remain with her or not. Ahmad lets out a slow breath as he turns his attention to the crumpled-up bed sheets under her boots. The master stands and cautiously makes for the door. Master Ahmad, you are needed outside, cries a familiar voice. Ahmad looks up to see Korla. Thank you, Korla. Ahmad rushes past him and outside, where a growing number of dark magic users are congregating. Among them is a master mage in maroon armor. Net, Ahmad cries as he stops next to him. What is all this? As Ahmad speaks, more of the master's quarters begins to collapse. A battlelord flies up from the crowd, extending his staff toward the fallen debris. He redirects the rubble away from the temple. There was a massive earthquake. It was unlike anything I've seen before, Net replies to Ahmad, to which he replies, hopefully everyone is okay. That's not all. Look. Net points to the nearby forest. Trees now stand dead, some fallen over. Where there was once a solid forest floor is now dotted with large sinkholes. The scariest part was the sky. It turned a deep red and flashed a few times, Net continues as Ahmad looks to the sky, which is only just starting to dim from the close of day. Sage Veer hovers at the center of the crowd and speaks to a now hushed audience. Sage Isabel approaches him and whispers something into his ear. I need 2 masters to set up a preventive barrier around the meeting hall. I need 4 to remove debris from the collapsed master's quarters and rebuild it as before. The rest of you need to be with your apprentices. Lower year masters, young or new mages who have not yet been assigned an apprentice, step forward and volunteer for the work. They follow Sage Geb out of the crowd as he explains a more in-depth plan. Higher year masters, Ahmad included, disperse back to their apprentices. Master Ahmad, wait! A female sage's voice rings through the crowd. Ahmad stops and turns to her. We have an assignment for you and Amalthea. If you will come with me, I will explain. They walk a large zigzagging path through the forest and around the clutter. We need both of you to go to the Palace of Grand Elements in Mesto and investigate this incident, she says as she uncrosses her legs and hovers in a standing position. The two powerful mages walk through the half-dead forest, avoiding the deep cracks and holes in the ground. Sage Isabel, are you certain that I cannot do this on my own? Ahmad asks as he looks at a destroyed training ground. I don't want to be defiant, but the palace is not that far from here. I don't think I will need Amalthea for this. His eyes dart over to the old sage. Besides, she is still recovering from her trials. Sage Isabel looks at Ahmad with a warm smile. Veer believes that you and Master Amalthea will be enough for this mission. Besides, we are going to be assigning other members to missions as well. A shock wave makes Ahmad's nose crinkle and his chest becomes tight. So, Amalthea is now Master Amalthea? Ahmad says with a noticeable level of pride. The sage looks back at the wreckage of the temple as it is slowly being rebuilt. She may now bear the title, yes, but she will have to wait until after this mission to receive her robes, armor, and staff. Also, we believe that you need to, wean her more into the idea of working without you, Sage Isabel adds as they stop in a clearing. Ahmad answers casually, but is unable to look at Isabel while saying, Amalthea seems ready to be on her own. He focuses his vision instead on a nearby tree. The sage interlocks her fingers and looks at Ahmad. Sternly, she replies, I disagree. She smiles at him once more. But personally, your relationship with her is touching. Tomorrow you and Master Amalthea will leave for the Palace of Grand Elements. Perhaps they will know why all this is happening. They begin moving back toward the temple as the forest grows dark. He could not take his eyes off the pile of debris that was once the place he called home. Ahmad walks into his apprentice's quarters. Korla is sitting next to her while she rests. Hello, Master Ahmad. She's still asleep. That's fine, Korla. Thank you for watching over her. Ahmad sits on the bed and places his hand on Amalthea's forehead. At least the swelling has gone down. He looks at Korla. How did your trials go? Well, I never took the trials. I was to go after Amalthea, Korla says to a surprised Ahmad. We talked to Sage Veer, but then all of this insanity started. Where is Net? Ahmad asks as he begins putting his hair up into a bun. He was here, but he left before you came in. Korla scratches the side of his head as he answers. Oh, well now you could get some of that sleep you missed out on, Ahmad replies, trying to stay positive. Korla sits back in his chair and fidgets with his apprentice outfit. When I saw Amalthea like this, I couldn't leave her. Ahmad looks at the floor and smiles. He looks at Korla. She will be okay. In fact, why don't you watch over her a little longer? I need to gather some provisions for tomorrow. As Ahmad stands up, Korla answers in a surprised manner. Oh, okay.